Hello, everyone. We have another Lighthouse speaker coming. Morgan Lynn is coming. She's just sending me a message. Morgan, we're right here. Trust that she will find me here alive. There she is. She's going to turn on her camera and her audio. Welcome.
Hi.
Yay! Lighthouse speaker, amazing speaker.
Hi.
Please give some loving in the chat to Morgan. I want to first say so much gratitude that you showed up here. She is one of our sovereign sponsorship speakers. What that means is she paid a higher level to come and to speak, which is why you're hearing more from her. But she makes it possible for those of you who are guests to come for free. So thank you for your generous sponsorship. And I am so excited that technology is working and everything's going well today. And super excited to share you with our audience, that some that maybe haven't met you yet. So let's start first with just like, what called you to join the pleasure revolution?
Well, the biggest thing for me is always interacting, participating, and holding safe space for women. And so when I saw that you were doing this, I intuitively I knew I needed to be here. We hadn't even met yet. You were introduced to me through Sherry Cameron, and I just had to. I knew right there. I have to go. I don't know what this is, but I'm in.
Yay. Right. And it's so powerful when we as women tune into our intuition, tune into our body, and listen to that call when it calls us and we respond to it from the inside out, right? Where so many of us conditioned, I know I have been, to keep looking outside of ourselves. For decades, I did that, looking outside of myself for guidance and wisdom and no more. So, if nothing else here, I hope you just from get a transmission from this amazing woman, Morgan, for her ability to intuit, her ability. She is so trauma informed. So let me welcome with your bio for a few people that haven't met you, and then we're going to dive right in. And she has a special treat for you at the end as well that's actually coming for the equinox. So make sure you stay for that. She will pop the details in the chat after. So Morgan Lynn is an author, speaker, and intuitive guide with 20 years of experience helping people navigate life with clarity and confidence. She's the author of The Spirited Human and Proactive Tools for a Reactive World. See if I read that right. For a reactive world. Yes, we live in a
Right.
very reactive world right now.
Yes.
And creator of her sovereign way. Yes, to sovereignty for us as women. Morgan is known for blending practical wisdom with heartfelt storytelling, leaving audiences inspired and ready to change. And I have to say, we already had this beautiful conversation, but at that time, at my end, in the Mexico end, technology wasn't working. But I said to people, just get that transmission from this amazing woman. So this is our retake. So if you're like, oh, I thought I already heard this. Well, you didn't probably really, because it was a bit garbly. So um, I would love to know if you can, let's start. What I wanted to start with today was, what is this connection between trauma and our capacity for pleasure?
Ooh, big relationship. They play so deeply together. So trauma in the body, essentially, I am not safe. That's what trauma feels like in the body. It's essentially when you were children, and that's the first time we experience it. Trauma is too much energy, too fast, too soon. So our little nervous systems didn't know how to manage that amount of stimuli that was coming in. And so that leaves us feeling unsafe. If we don't heal through that lack of safety, then we're going to grow into adults minimizing and shrinking and almost compartmentalizing parts of us so that we don't experience the full spectrum of pleasure. We're not going to allow things into our field because we're too busy closing in to protect. So it's one side of the coin to the other. They are so important.
Yeah, too much, too fast, too soon. If any of you can relate to that and had some childhood trauma, I don't know anybody who hasn't, to be honest, but
Right.
just put child below in the chat. And This is like so important because I know myself, I shrank for decades in my life and just played small and in contraction and was so disassociated, so disconnected from my body, and didn't really understand as an adult that it's because my whole nervous system didn't have the capacity to surrender and to be open and soften because my body was going warning, 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 not safe, not safe, not safe. So
Exactly.
I just want to tell people you're not broken. It's not your fault. It's programming.
Yeah.
So let's, anything else more you want to say about that? Like maybe tell a little bit more about like the trauma and shadow work. Let's just dive right in for people. They're like, oh my gosh, I really need to hear this. So tell us a little bit more about the trauma work that you do and the shadow work and that how that supports people in opening to more pleasure.
Yeah, so when I'm working with someone, that is the very first thing I'm going to want to do with them is help them establish safety in their body because a beautiful domino effect occurs. When one feels safe, we relax. When we relax, we open. When we open, we can receive. So the formula is actually quite simple for me. It's just each person is coming to me with their own unique stories and experiences of why they feel like they can't open. And so the work is very individualized in that way. I do not do cookie cutter processes. So it just depends on what's dropping in right now is I look at people like they are their own unique puzzle box. It's everyone's a puzzle, but everyone has their own combination. And so it's my honor to be able to help figure out their combination that's going to help them open. So that will go into trauma, that can be shadow work, that can be spiritual harm. Like there are so many things that cause trauma in the body. So it's just a matter of getting to know that person and figuring out what their combination is.
So they need to feel safe so they can relax, so they can open, so they can receive. That's like so important for us to
That's
understand as
it.
women.
Yeah.
Um, I want you to speak about the importance of choosing who we work with. And I'll just kind of prelude that a little bit. I know I have worked with people where I literally felt re-traumatized,
Oh yeah.
and that was horrific. So if somebody's looking and maybe they're called, I mean, I had my experience with you has been you are such a gentle person that I have felt, you know, disarmed and safe to be raw and vulnerable with you. You've shown up here from your first talk that you did where you talk about authenticity and capacity. We had tech was going crazy. Morgan was our second speaker and it was all going wrong. And you know what? She was like, I'm not going to do the original talk that I was going to at this moment. I'm just going to show up here in my rawness and my authenticity. Um, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant because of that, because it was so real and so raw. So now I don't even remember what my question was, but let's see if you can find the thread of that.
Oh, I think you were saying something of when other people want to work with people, they might get re-traumatized is how you started that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
importance of choosing and how we, help people in that decision because it's so important and maybe talk about why that's so important.
Mm. Well, first of all, I feel emotional in my gratitude for you in that reflection. So, like, I feel tender. Just thank you for that reflection. Um, it does not escape me the amount of bravery it takes to ask for help. It does not
Mm,
escape me to know that if you're coming to me and we're first meeting, like I had a client session today with the person that this was our first session. She doesn't know who I am. I am very aware of how vulnerable that is, where we're just now getting to know each other and like, I get it. I know you don't know me and we're going to have to figure this out. There is a level of trust in yourself that I feel like you have to kind of access, even trust
mm,
in the I'm going to take a chance, but I'm watching you. Like I invite my clients, watch me. Like tell me that like how do you feel right now? Do you feel safe? Like that's such a big deal to me. So I understand the risk. I don't know. There's no magical formula there. It's try people on, Trust yourself. If something's not landing and it feels harmful, then you have permission to leave. If I'm ever working with anyone and it's not working and they don't get it and it's not landing for them, we can be complete. It's okay. It doesn't have to be anything if you don't feel like it's working for you. Everybody has the divine right to find the people that they work with. And I give all that space. Like I'm here for the people that resonate and want my flavor of
Mhm.
magical, chaotic beauty and order all in one. So I'm like,
Magical.
here, I am ready. You come in when you're ready, and I
Yeah.
honor you, and that's all good.
Yeah. Magical, chaotic beauty all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, I want to speak a little bit more to what you said about asking for help. We are programmed as women to give, and your one talk that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but about um, maybe around self abandonment. I think we are programmed as little girls to give, 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 be a good girl, be a nice girl, um, discount your own self, just think about everybody else, don't be selfish. Um, we're taught to be caregivers for our parents, our siblings. I mean, I was an older sister, so I had to look after my siblings. I actually helped to change their diapers. Um, like we're just constantly told to keep looking outside of ourselves and keep giving to the point of depletion
Yeah.
and to the point of self-sacrifice and to the point of self-abandonment. So no wonder it's hard for us to ask for help. We're not programmed to ask for help. We're programmed to give, 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 give. And we're taught that it's selfish to ask for help. It's selfish to put yourself first. It's all these this programming and judgment. So yes, I just want to honor as well that any of you who are listening, if you're like, fuck, that's really vulnerable to ask for help. It is. It
Yeah.
is so vulnerable, and it is the biggest gift you can give yourself.
Yeah.
Is I wouldn't be here doing any of this work if not for the list of counselors, therapists, shamans, priestesses, uh, light workers, trauma release workers that I've been blessed to work with for the last 2 decades of my life and continue to, because the only way I can show up for all of you and be the best version of Vireo is by asking for help. And I've had to ask for help this whole pleasure summit, pleasure revolution, because there's some things that they're not my gift, and there's only so much of Vireo. So I appreciate those that have helped. So anything else you wanted to say about the help part? And then I've got another question for you.
Yeah, kinda touching back in on the part about the shadow. So, our shadow is hidden from us. So, I actually am very good at doing my own work because I've done this for 20 years. I'm pretty good at catching my own things and being able to shift my own mindset and such. But I only know so much because of my blind spots. I can't know what I can't see. And so I like to look at it like when you're going through something, you're the person in the jar. You can't read the label that's on the outside. So you may not know what's going on. But having someone like me on the outside who can read that label and reflect back to you, "Hey, this might be going on. This is what I see. This is what I'm getting." Will help you get out of that jar faster than if you try to just stay there and figure it out by yourself. And so you absolutely can do the work on your own, but how much time will it save you if you reach out and get the right kind of help, person that can read that label and help you understand a lot faster? Like we've got things to do in this world. We don't have time for that being in the jar too long. Let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go.
Yes, yes, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Beautiful analogy. Awesome. Um, let's see what else. Can you tell us, like, we'll kind of backtrack a bit, but how did you even start to do this work in the first place? Like, how did that unfold?
Well, I started out I lovingly call it, in my fluffy era. I started out doing angel readings and fairy readings and playing with all the mystical creatures, and something shifted in me probably about, let's see, that was 2006, so probably around 2012, about 6 years later, something wasn't quite grabbing all of the things I wanted. it wasn't going deep enough. I wanted more. I'm like, this is lovely. It's a lovely space to play in, but what else? I still feel wounded. I still am in my patterns. Like something else needs to come in. And that's where I started learning about shadow work. That scratched that itch just a little bit better. So I started like, oh, I'm geeking out over the shadow work because it's the deep, dark, mystical places that are hidden. I love that stuff so much. And then it transformed into becoming trauma certified because I figured what I started noticing is when you do go into those darker places, those heavier places, you have to do it in a way that is safe. So I wanted to learn how to go into the heavy trauma spaces safely, lead them there so they can see their own wounds, and then safely lead them back out. And so, honestly, when I took my trauma course, the first round, I did it all for me. I took the class, I poured my guts out. It was so messy, it was so big, it was so beautiful. And then I took the course again so that I could really, really show up for my clients. So I gave permission for me to have it first so that I could then show other people how to have that. So that's where we are.
Wow, beautiful. And so needed on the planet. I have gone decades to psychotherapists, and there's talk therapy and there's benefits from that. The biggest shift for me that I've had is more in doing the deep shadow work, the deep trauma work.
Yeah.
So I love that you are offering that. And there's not a lot of people offering that on the planet. So,
Oh,
and not a lot of people that necessarily somebody might feel safe with. So
yeah.
if you resonate with Morgan, definitely reach out, connect with her. I have another question, but before we do that, I want to make sure that you tell people um, some offerings that you have coming up. I know you've got something for the equinox. You want to speak about that? And it's online, so everybody can join. So let's talk about that.
Yes,
Timeline.
I'm so excited. We have 20 beautiful guests coming. So I have a membership. It's called Her Sovereign Way, and we are hosting an open public spring equinox ceremony tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, where okay, this is where I'm gonna geek out. We've got the snake energy shifting to fire horse energy in the Chinese calendar. We're at the equinox today. We are at the first sliver of the crescent moon coming from Aries into Taurus, all the planets, all the stars, all the things. And we're going to do a ceremony around that. So we are out with the old, in with the new ceremony tomorrow at 4 p.m. And so if you want to join me, just comment down below or you can shoot me an email, connect with me however. There's a supplies list of some things to bring, but we're going to be doing some magic, baby, because it's time. It's time.
So how about if you are interested in coming, put the word time below, like it's time. Put the word time, and then Morgan will connect with you and make sure that you have that link. I love that out with the old, with the snake, and in with the new, with the fire horse. And you know what? This is like the most important time for us to be shedding and moving forward with releasing so much because the fire and horse, like the last time we had fire horse was in the early 60s. I think the year I was born or around that time.
Yes.
And we are moving fast. The guarantee for this year is fast and change. And so jump on board with us, get some tools, have some sisterhood, come get filled up. I'm going to be there. So 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Mountain and Central, and 1 o'clock Pacific is, I believe, what it is. But register early. Don't wait till last minute because, like Morgan said, she's got some supplies and things you need to prepare so that you can get the most out of this time.
Yeah.
Any other offerings or anything that you have coming up that if some people maybe can't do the spring equinox, or by the time they watch this maybe it's come and gone, what else might they um, reach out to you for? Anything else you want to share with them?
Well, I would say the first thing you could do if you wanted to stay in touch, I have a beautiful meditation that I offer that's guided. You download it, you use it as often as you want. It's called Coming Home to Yourself. I can put that in the chat so you can just download that meditation. That's going to connect you to my mailing list and you'll know the events that are coming up. But I haven't even announced this, so I'm actually kind of excited. So my birthday is April 11th. I am
Mm,
411. I love information. So there's that. I'm doing a big birthday bash online where I'm going to be
wow.
doing drawings. I'll be drawing for books and my oracle deck and some other gifts, and we're just going to have a big old fun time. But also on that call, I'm going to be teaching people, well, not teaching so much, but I will guide you through an experience of meeting your future self and collapsing the time between you and that future self so that you can get into that manifestation game and just be like on fire with the fire horse, baby. Yes. So that's on
Mm,
April 11th. I'll drop it in if you want me to. I wasn't even prepared to say that, but I know that's coming up, so I'm really excited.
beautiful. So put the word home below if you would like the meditation that she has, and then as soon as you grab that, then you'll get the birthday invitation and everything. So just put the word home and the meditation again. Say one more thing about the meditation for them. What are the benefits they're going to receive from that meditation?
Well, if everything in this world is working to disconnect us, what is a disconnected person? Easily programmable, easily distracted, easily overwhelmed, yada, yada. This meditation is going to bring you back in and create that embodiment so that you are unshakable, so that you are formidable, so that you can be, I'm getting all jazzed. Like, oh, these are good words. It gets you in the world. Like it lets you stand in yourself. Going back to our conversation, when a person feels safe, then they open and they receive and they're powerful. And so you can only be that if you're in your body. That's the only way. You cannot be outside of your body and be embodied. Those two things cancel each other out. So the meditation brings you back.
Yes, to coming into our bodies and being sovereign. I
Yes.
love that sovereignty, and I feel that with you. That's why I resonate so much with you about sovereignty. Let's finish on this. I know you have a documentary that you're part of. Tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that.
So last May we got to go to the jungles of Costa Rica and we filmed the Ungrind Journey. It's a two-part documentary. The essence of the documentary speaks about having a lifestyle business where it's not running you, you're running it. Like you get to take vacations and how to have a successful business while still maintaining your well-being and your mental health and like all the things that we're all craving. I think that's the dream,
Mm,
right? How do you be of service but not be a slave to that work? And so the documentary is about, forget how many members there were, probably like 20 of us moving through that conversation together. And so part 1 is due out at the beginning of next month, I believe, and then the second part will come out, but it'll be streaming, it'll be live, and we'll have watch parties. Again, if you get on my mailing list, you can join me for my watch party. That would be super fun.
awesome. So make sure you put the word time below if you want to be part of the equinox celebration that's happening tomorrow. I'm going to be there. And then
Awesome.
put the word home if you want to receive Morgan's meditation and come home to yourself. And then you'll be on her email list. You'll find about her birthday party. You'll find out about the documentary, but just put the word home. Like, yes, I want to come home
Yes.
to myself. Let's complete with, I know we did this last time, so let's do a bit of a retake on that. Do you have one practice? I think you had one practice that would help people to come home into their bodies, to calm their nervous system. Do you want to walk us through one of your practices just so right now? Because I think that as people are watching things, there's, a possibility that people are also triggered by things. So maybe as they're listening to different speakers and different talks, and, it's intense, it's about pleasure, it's sexuality, sometimes there's trauma stuff. Um, what's one practice they could do that would help them to calm their nervous system or reset their nervous system, feel safe in their bodies?
Yeah. This is actually a practice that I do for first time clients. It's the first thing I do with them. So your vagus nerve starts at the back of the skull and it travels through the chest, down into the intestines, all the way down to the uterus. I mean, all the way down to the root. It's a very large nerve. It oversees safety and security. That's the small explanation of it, right? So when you're feeling kind of that emotional flooding or agitation or anxiety, and you can kind of feel, for me, it looks like a snow globe that got shook up, right? You start seeing
Mm,
the debris because you're like overwhelmed. Pause, take a breath, and then place your hand, you can't see because of my microphone, right between your breasts, and then the other hand right above it. So heart and higher heart. Close your eyes. It lets your inner awareness drop down to your hands because your eyes will follow your hands. Take a nice slow breath in for 4, out for 6. And that's it, my loves. You honestly just hold that, imagining the snow of the snow globe beginning to drift and soften and come back down to the bottom. You're giving yourself time and space for your nervous system to catch up with you. So the work doesn't have to be labored. It doesn't have to be a lot of steps. It doesn't have to be, hard or forced. It's actually quite soft and slow and simple. You just have to give yourself time to do that. So anytime you're feeling that emotional flooding, just slow it down, show up for the part of you that's feeling all of that stress and anxiety. You'll feel better and then move on with your day.
beautiful. Thank you. So make sure you put home below so you'll get her meditation. You'll be added to Morgan's list. And then you'll know who to reach out to if you want some trauma support. And also for spring equinox, just put the word time below. And thank you so much, everybody, for showing up here. Thank you, Morgan. And let her know the best way you can appreciate her as a speaker here, especially as our sovereign sponsorship, is to comment below, tell her what you appreciated, tell her your takeaway, ask her your questions. She will go through the chat later. And thank you so much. Any closing words you want to say as we're completing?
Well, big gratitude, of course, but what's really landing in this moment is you are so worth coming home to yourself. You all are so worth remembering who you are. So I just send so much love to each of you on your journey as you are finding your way back, and you're worth that.
Yes, yes. I see you. I love you, Morgan. Thank you, everybody who's showing up here. Yes, you are worth it. You deserve coming home to yourself and using pleasure as medicine because it is your birthright. And it also will help you come home to yourself. So calm that nervous system. Put the word home below so you get her amazing meditation. And thank you again, Morgan, for showing up here with your brilliance and your trauma informed uh, wisdom for us as well. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Thank you for having me. I so appreciate you.
My pleasure.